Well, Rob, after the disappointment last week, I suppose the good thing about sport is you can get it back straight away with a big performance at home.
Yeah, we're lucky we are here this week as well. You know, our home form has been something we've targeted this year. I'm very excited to come back and play in front of our Exeter supporters. As a few guys will get their opportunity again, and it is nice to get straight back into it. You know, we travelled back on Sunday, straight back in. We were a little bit disappointed after the weekend because it was a game that was eminently winnable. But here we are, a new game to focus on. I'm looking forward to it.
As you say, it's one you're probably kicking yourself at. 9 times out of 10 you would have won that game.
Well, I don't know about 9 times out of 10 because, you know, sometimes we do play like that. I think we've been better this season, and I think there's quite a few guys there who hadn't played much rugby recently. And actually in patches we were very, very good, especially away from home in France. But sometimes those patches are the ones that hurt you. I think it was interesting, the reaction from the lads has been one of real good learning, and it'll be interesting to see how we go this week.
Rob said he's going to use this whole 4 weeks to rotate the squad, look at different options and that, and no doubt a few changes again this weekend.
Yeah, there's a few. I think we've been lucky in this first 6 weeks, or lucky, it might not be the way to put it. In this first 6 weeks of the Premiership, we've used a number of players, and whilst we wouldn't necessarily rotate, some things have happened naturally in terms of injury, and we've managed to spread the rugby load across quite a few guys. Obviously there are one or two who've played a lot through that period, and they've had a chance to just freshen up a little bit. But again, you know, we're pushing hard. It's a home game. We want to beat Connacht, and we want to kick into this next block of LV and then back into the Premiership in really good shape.
Connacht, a bit like ourselves, like to play attacking rugby, and we saw last weekend from their result that they're a side on form themselves.
Yeah, they're a good side. I think their sort of record in the Heineken shows that they're a very, very tough side to beat. They've had some different results along the way, but at times they can be very, very tricky. And as you say, they scored a lot of points last week. Got some players in great form, and they'll be looking forward to coming here to a great stadium on a great surface and having a real crack at us.
When you look back at last week, I suppose one of the positives to take is you did get something from the result in the losing bonus point, and that could be vital later.
Absolutely, you've got to get points wherever you can get them in this competition. You know, it's a very, very tough competition, whether it's the top tier or the second tier. And points away from home are important, and I would imagine that'll come back at the end of this the European block, and it'll be very important to us.
As we've seen as well in recent seasons, Europe has acted as a nice learning tool for the boys. They've learned from playing different opposition rather than just Premiership sides.
Yeah, absolutely key. You know, we pride ourselves here on how quickly we do learn, and these games do provide a different experience. You different type of referee. You've got different challenges in terms of either the forwards, the set piece, and around the pitch as well. And there is a lot of good players in it. I think there's a lot you can learn from these. And again, traditionally, certainly Exeter have done that very well and transferred some of those lessons, picked out the things that are good, picked up some things from the opposition, and then used those to kick on.
You mentioned about home form here. 2 great wins in the last few weeks against Harlequins and London Irish. You want to make this place a bit of a fortress, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, gosh, you always want to play well at home. I think certainly we've had a real look at a real attitude about us this year in and around our home games, and looking forward to seeing the guys front up this weekend in front of the supporters. It is very important, not just in this competition, but just to us emotionally. We love playing here. The lads love living and playing here, love working here, and the crowd is so supportive, even when we lose. You know, and so supportive, and it's a very, very special place to play rugby. So, you know, we'll be hoping that we can put on a bit of a display.
You mentioned the crowd, nearly 300-400 people over in Bayonne last week, and they made themselves heard.
Oh, I mean, the travelling support is amazing. Everybody comments on it, you know, especially the guys who are new, who come in. I mean, it was great wandering around Bayonne and just bumping into supporting people on trips all around the place. Great in the evening to go and have a beer with the guys afterwards as well. And the support during the match from minute 1 to minute 80 was fantastic.